A4 piece of paper.
Oh, yes.
I got an A4 piece of paper and folded it in half. And then in half again. And it was only then that I handed it to my mother. And it was when she asked me what it was for that I said, Mum, we all have so many important things in our lives. But I want you to pick just 4. In these equal squares, I'm asking you to write down all your worries and your cares, all your fears and your woes, all your happiness and all your sorrows. And with no need for prolonged prose or this and that and so, so I'm asking you, as the only one who knows, what are the 4 things that mean the most to you? And what she told me next, I swear is true. She said, my children, and having money enough to feed them. My faith, and she paused, and I'll admit that my curiosity gnawed. I said, Mum, that's box 1 and 2 and 3, but come on and tell me, what about that last? And she smiled. I'll be there. I'm glad you asked. She said that even after 4 decades together, and though love fades through stormy weather, the 4th thing was, and still is, her husband, my father. And I know some of you in the audience would much rather hear how she cherishes her peace and quiet. And I think we could all agree how much of a riot it would be to hear her put down my dad. But I swear, I could see her chest swell with joy for every second of the 40 years of marriage together that they've had. When I had the nerve to ask her why, she told me simply, with a sigh, your dad is just one hell of a guy. See, I come from a home where my father taught me that the only time it's right to raise your hand at a woman is to ask a question. That you should only raise a glass when it's time to cheer. And I heard him loud and clear when he said that, son, the only time you raise your voice is when you say, I do. And in response to when she tells you that she loves you so that you can scream that I do too. See, I get my way with words from my mother and not my father, because it's the latter who would much rather give instructions through his actions. So when people see us both together, the reaction's always the same. Come on now, please, and don't make fun. There's just no way that he's your son. You see, to my great misfortune, we look nothing alike. It's like God looked at all those good genes and said, hey, you, take a hike. But whenever I see that handsome man, I try not to question God's master plan. And with that chiseled jaw and perfect tan, I realize, man, there's a reason it's called a role model. He would always glide while I would waddle, but he would never coddle me. And he told me simply that, son, it's always best to be the type of man you'd want your daughter to marry. So thank you, Dad. And I won't forget, because you can bet that you fill one whole box on that A4 piece of paper that I carry.